State down here in Tennessee. We don't need y'all to talk about us because we're going to talk about ourselves.
I can't believe it, Justin. I can't believe it.
Shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have flicked the football to the sideline, Jakes. Holy moly, holy cow, holy expletive, etc. Welcome, Titans fans, to Titans Tube. I'm Jake. I'm not Jake. I'm all discombobulated from that football game Sunday. I'm Justin. This is Jake, our co-host here at Titans Tube, and we are gonna kind of unpack a little late unpacking through the week of the game in Week 1 Sunday, where the Titans fell to the Chicago Bears 24-17. It is a Thursday we're recording this, so there's already been, of course, lots of talk and discussion amongst Titans fans and media, local media, and all that. So we all know the storyline by this point. I was out of town this weekend, didn't get back till Wednesday, so we are a little late getting this thing out to you guys. But we need to do our due diligence, Jake. Win or lose, we are going to be here after the game to unfold this. I guess I'll start it out like this, Jake, and I'll throw it to you. So I think as Titans fans, we're coming into this season saying all we really want to see is development from our hopeful franchise quarterback, Will Levis. Playoffs, no playoffs, we can live with that as long as we think we have our guy. Well, Jake, as it turns out, we might have a very solid football team. However, what we want to see happen in no way, shape, or form took place in terms of this franchise quarterback development. And in some ways, maybe even took a step back. I know it's just one game, but this franchise, Jake, if this thing doesn't get turned around, the quarterback position may continue to hold back this franchise for years to come if we can't figure this out. And we may be wasting a very, very promising defense, judging by that Week 1 game. The defense was absolutely something to applaud. The biggest thing to applaud for sure, the biggest positive takeaway was that defense. But, of course, Jake, the topic is Will Levis in these play. And, of course, that boneheaded shuffled pass to the sideline that went back for 6 points for the Chicago Bears in a game that was a seven-point differential. So, Jake, I'm going to lay it out there to you. What do you think? What's going on here with this team?
You know what? I'm actually glad we're a little late on this episode, Justin, because I was and am pissed at Will Levis. Like, I mean, you teed it up so nicely right there, put the ball right on the wooden tee. We're in the tee box, Justin. I'm going to come up. I'm a lefty. I'm going to take a big swing at it with a 3-wood because Will Levis has lost me. He lost me with one play. And it's kind of a hard business, man. You just can't do that. You just can't do that at all. I feel I was more mad at Will Levis on Sunday than I was at Ryan Tannehill after the 3-interception playoff game. And it's solely because you handed it to him. Like, I mean, Ryan Tannehill also handed that game to the Bengals, but at least he was trying to make a throw. He was throwing the football. He was trying to execute
overhand
the play.
motion.
This was doing way too much. I mean, it's 3rd and long, Will. Have some awareness. It was an awareness level 0 type play. I mean, no thought process whatsoever went into, I'm getting sacked. It's 3rd and long. Even if I complete it somehow I don't even remember who was on the sideline. Even if I somehow complete this prayer or even, throw it away. Best case scenario, he throws it away, avoids the sack. It's 4th and long. You're punting anyways, Will. Come on. What are you doing? And
especially in a game too, Jake, where your defense is dominating.
Yes.
Their offense haven't done anything all game. They have 6 points. Their offense has completed 2 drives for points, which is 2 field goals. If this was a game where Caleb Williams threw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, and the Titans were maybe trailing by a possession, maybe that desperation play is looked at differently, but it's that game awareness, Jake. You are leading by a point.
Zero awareness.
You're leading by a point, and your defense is dominating. You have to understand the game flow and what's going on. And Jake, this is a quarterback, and it's not just that play. It seems like he's trying to do too much all the time. Just take an incompletion, take a sack, slide. We don't have to barrel roll into defenders on every single scramble. He converted some nice 3rd down runs, I think.
For
at least
sure.
one where he extended a drive, and that's nice. But he's making a habit out of trying to maximize every single snap and making something happen. And it's the high risk and high consequences that came back to bite us in that game, Jake. And it cost us the football game.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, I had almost forgotten about the slow motion replay where Will Levis is not sliding. He's not being tackled. He is launching himself into the tackler, into the defender. He is seeking the contact for no reason. And then he kind of comes up and he's like, oh, that one kind of hurt. No shit, Will. No, dude. Have any game awareness at all. You are a potential franchise quarterback. The guy behind you, I mean, please don't make me call for Mason Rudolph. I mean, you might as well pack in the season, Justin. I'll see you in 25. If I'm calling for Mason Rudolph to start, Will, don't make us do this. Please don't make us do this. It's just aggravating. You teed it up so perfectly because it was, playoffs, no playoffs. We don't really know what we're going to get, but we want to see some development with the passing game. Will Levis lead this offense. You have talent around you, which was evident, Justin. Tony Pollard was unbelievable on Sunday. Ran the ball really, really well, caught balls out of the backfield. I thought, there was a lot of good out of this Titans offense, especially in the first half. But as we know all too well, Justin, especially with the Vrabel era, the more things change, the more they stay the same. The Titans are up a couple possessions in the first half. They completely throw it in neutral for the second half, and they get beat. And 17 points isn't going to win a football game, which is somehow we've found ourselves in this purgatory where we can't get over that hump and score that extra touchdown that we need, or, take out teams. I would love to see a kill shot at any point from this Titans team. And it feels like it's been years, Justin, that when we have the chance to knock a team out, we had the chance to knock the Bears out several times over, and we didn't do it. And it cost us. And
it's incredible.
It's incredible. And we do it in new and inventive ways. We haven't even brought up the blocked punt that started the entire avalanche. When are we going? I figured Ryan Stonehouse probably would have injured his leg again. I mean, what is happening?
If I'm Stonehouse, it's incredible. You said it. Like the more things change, the more they stay the same, dude. We completely flipped this roster, brought in a whole new coaching staff. This was the same Titans game that we've seen so many times. It doesn't make any sense. We changed everything about this team, and when we've seen this game play out over and over, I don't understand. And speaking of Stonehouse, I don't know how he doesn't ask for a trade immediately after going through a horrific leg injury last year in his first game back. It was this maybe second punt or third. No, this was in the second half.
Yeah,
because they were
a couple.
Yeah, they haven't scored a touchdown. So third quarter, it's still you have a punt block go for a touchdown. We have a new special teams coordinator. Doesn't matter. Titans are just shooting themselves in the foot with those 2 costly big plays. That was the game. With Will Levis's pick and then the blocked punt. But like you said, just not being able to generate anything, not getting anything going in the second half. I was already getting sick of seeing the screen passes that were not there. They were getting blown up. I did not like the screen game that Callahan had pointed out. I know that's kind of the new flashy thing with the Chiefs, really utilizing that in their offense. And I don't know who else, the Eagles. Just a lot of teams, run this screen pass oriented system, and I see a lot of that in Callahan. We saw it in the preseason, and it worked here and there, but it was not working in this game. I guess the Bears watched our preseason games, and so they were ready for that. But even so, dude, they're like Will Levis could have overcome the shovel pick six. There were plays to be made out there.
Yeah.
Receivers were getting open. He missed Calvin Ridley deep a couple times, it felt like.
Yeah.
He got pretty lucky with Chigakonkwo making a great adjustment to catch the touchdown pass. So nice to see Chigakonkwo making a play out there for the offense. But yeah, I think there are plays to be made out there, and Will Levis did not look on his game. And I see like some discussion on Twitter where he has this weird uncharacteristic knack for like sliding around in an open pocket. He'll unwittingly just slide into pressure, slide into some sacks.
He's a step up into it, not slide.
Or early in the first half, I know it was a Calvin Ridley. He was deep. He beat that great cornerback, I think Jalen Johnson on the Bears.
This is a touchdown.
And and then it should have been picked because it looked like he slid as he threw it, and a defender was right there to kind of nick him a little bit. And so it was underthrown, and it luckily didn't get picked off. But that's a touchdown, dude. You have to make that throw, make that play. So I don't know. Week 1, you got to reset and start 0-0 and not make that boneheaded play. I mean,
this game was
if you want to flip to the defense.
Yeah, this game. Yeah, I would love to switch to the defense because they had this game won, Justin. The defense won you this game. And
absolutely.
Will Levis said, "No, you have it. You guys
you have this. Here, Bears, have this game."
This is the story of the game. This is all they could have printed, as far as writing about the game. This is from Teron Davenport, Justin. This came out right after the game ended. The Bears are the first team in NFL history, Justin, to win a game where they trailed by 17 points and had fewer than 150 offensive yards, 150 total yards. The Bears didn't even have 150 total yards. Caleb Williams didn't pass for 100 yards. And that is what is infuriating. I mean, you played the perfect game, minus 2 plays.
Yeah.
2 plays lost you the entire game, and one was completely avoidable.
You just avoid one of those, and this is a whole different conversation, probably.
Correct.
And we still had the ball, only down 7, and of course, we can't get it done on offense because we had no rhythm at all. But yeah, talk about finding ways to lose. Titans find themselves in another category of first team to lose in that particular fashion, less than 150 yards. Giving Caleb Williams his first win. It's just, I don't know.
It's more disappointing. I would have rather Caleb Williams diced us up and they won 24-17, and it was like a kind of a it was just the way in which it unfolded, especially with the early 17-0 lead.
Yeah.
The defense absolutely balling out. I mean, I love L'Jarius Sneed is all over everyone, and the pass rush is there. Getting 4, T'Vondre Sweat really surprised me. Joseph Day, I think his name is. Sebastian Joseph Day was also a big surprise there up front. Love
Landry
Sweat's
getting
effort.
in the sack
Landry.
column.
Everybody was – Big Jeff had a tackle for loss. Everybody was in on this. The new linebackers from
Ernest
LA.
Jones.
Ernest Jones.
He was good.
Blew up that center, popped that up. There were so many bouncing balls and tipped balls and fumbled snaps, and
how did
they
we
were
not
all
come up
over
with
the
one?
place.
Yeah.
All we needed was one. And that's the only knock on the entire defense, is that they didn't end up with one, because it shouldn't be their job to save the day again, even though they've held the offense to 150 total yards, less than 150 total yards. Oh, that's infuriating, because I mean, our defense is going to win us some games. You just can't have Will Levis making the worst mistake maybe possible in a football game.
That's what I was going to say about Caleb Williams. It's his first NFL game. Can't knock him too much, but as ineffective as he was, the best thing he did was not make that back-breaking turnover. He took care of the ball, and just like that, that's the difference in the game. He did not do what Levis did, and that was the difference in the game. He protected the football. So Oh, yeah. All we had to do is not make the stupid bag-breaking turnover, dude. An entire 60 minutes of football with 60, 70 plus plays. It's just one that could be the
Yep.
difference, and just how it all unfolds. And that's what we saw. Like, so this isn't going to happen every week, Titans fans.
No.
Let me try to spin it positively. You're not going to have a shuffle pass thrown to the sideline where it gets picked off, brought back for a touchdown, and that's your ball game. That's the scoring margin difference right there. You know that the coaching staff has got to be in Levis's ear, and I'm sure Levis he should be embarrassed and know that he let the team down, and he should carry this loss on his shoulders, and hopefully it's a learning experience. And Levis strikes me as probably a too confident of a guy. He is very confident in his abilities, and he is naturally gifted. He has a great arm, and we've seen some amazing throws that he's made in his young career so far. It's just the game awareness, understanding his place in the football game, and not trying to do too much all the time, and to be overconfident in everything. Like, oh, I'm going to bulldoze this linebacker right here. Ooh, I can let me make a Patrick Mahomes no-look shuffle throw out of bounds and save a few yards before we punt it. So hopefully they are in his ear and like, dude, we believe we got you. This is not just the Will Levis Titans. Like, this is a big team effort, and
Yeah.
I know he understands this, and I'm just saying, but there's a lot more to your quarterback making miraculous and amazing play week in and week out for your team to win. You can win in other ways, and a
Correct.
very strong, possibly top 10 defense from what we saw in week one is a large part of a winning formula of football. So just, be like a game manager. You don't have to be a gunslinger. Just ease yourself into this. Will,
Yeah.
let's not get crazy on it.
That's what I really liked for Brian Callahan, actually. In his Monday morning presser, he was ripping Will Levis a new one. And he was talking about how me and Will talked third to the fourth quarter. Listen, the Bears offense hasn't done anything. Don't be a hero. Don't be stupid.
Don't be a hero.
And
right?
he did it anyways. And Brian Callahan has to be furious because he literally told him what not to do, why you shouldn't do this, and something broke in Will Levis's brain that he couldn't not do it.
He's got to play hero ball all the time.
I like Brian Callahan ripping him a new one. I mean, Mike Vrabel, I don't think maybe he would have been a little more direct in criticism of Will Levis, especially with this situation. But I liked the direct criticism from the coach in the media, not after the game, but Monday morning presser. And it's going to be interesting, Justin, to see how Will Levis can bounce back. If you want to kind of turn the page to the Jets game, this is going to be a huge turnaround performance for Will Levis in terms of he needs to win fans back now. He lost a lot of people with one play. All it took was one play, and he's lost a lot of people, Justin. It's going to be interesting to see how he bounces back. Can your franchise guy, ? Asterisk, bounce back after giving the game away so obviously and abhorrently? And can this defense also replicate their game plan against the Jets, who has, they're on the opposite end of the quarterback spectrum, obviously, with the 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers versus Caleb Williams coming out. But it's like we're talking about the same team, Justin. They put some talented pieces together in New York, and they've got a good receiving core and a good defense, great quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of the same scouting report.
Yeah.
Can this defense repeat the success against a seasoned quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, get that pass rush up? I mean, they were sacking Caleb Williams, and he escaped out of a lot of them, and there was a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, at 40 years old, coming off the Achilles, is not going to be able to do that the same way. So I'm looking forward to see if the defense can replicate what they did in Chicago to a very also talented team, because, oh my God, these Bears wide receivers, oh my goodness. Caleb Williams has got all these toys to play with. They didn't pass for 100 yards, Justin. It wasn't even close. And
Yeah.
so if they can do that, and if Will Levis can screw his head on straight, get it all the way around, locked in, turn on the light bulb, please, Will, and just go win the game. If your defense is pitching a shutout, you shouldn't
Yeah.
lose in that fashion. So
You might not
come
have to
home.
go win it. Just manage the game and take care of the
Exactly.
football.
Exactly.
And I mean, judging, you know, talking about the Jets and their performance, they're coming in with an 0-1 record. And yes, they had to go to San Francisco, one of the best teams in football right now. But what was I seeing? So the Jets didn't really run the football particularly well. I think the Bears rushed for more yardage week 1 against us than the Jets did in week 1. And let's see, they gave up some sacks too. I'm just saying, yeah, they gave up 32 points to San Francisco, and it's hard. I'm not trying to say we're going to be the 49ers coming here, but the Titans certainly have a chance. And I know there's a lot of hype around this Jets team. But, you know, as long as you have a solid defense, which the Titans look like they do, they will keep you in the game. And there's going to be opportunities out there for the offense to do their thing as well. I think the 49ers, yeah, they had an easier time running the football without Christian McCaffrey against a very, you know, hyped up Jets defensive front. So if there's plays to be made in the running game, we saw a lot of promise, like we said, out of Tony Pollard. You know, we didn't really touch a lot about offensive line play yet, but you know, we ran the football well. I think I saw J.C. Latham was very strong in the running game. Probably left more to be desired in pass protection, but still, if we can play that old school Titans football that we've always known and loved, which is a strong run game and a stout defense, we can bounce back and win this game at home. So I'm just trying to put a positive spin. Like, yeah, Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers still, but he didn't look like the world beater. I think he had a touchdown and interception, less than 200 yards passing. They're still trying to figure out their chemistry because this is really his first season in this Jets offense after missing the entire last season. So they're still trying to find their rhythm and chemistry as well in a live game setting. So I think there's a chance. Yeah, we've got to bounce back. Yeah, before this fan really starts turning. Hopefully, you know, being a new regime, you hate to see a fan base turn so quickly after 2 games. But
one play, you know, not even really like. There's so many positives in that performance in Chicago, but 2 plays, blocked punt, which, oh my God, how does it keep happening?
Yeah,
and then the Will Levis play. I mean, 2 plays, you know, an entire regime now is like, oh God, now we have to like,
it's on the hot seat.
It better not happen again, you know, like,
yeah.
Good God, can you imagine if Will Levis goes out and does it again in front of the home crowd? It's going to be bad, Justin. It's going to be really bad. Yeah. And he can't make that mental error at all moving forward. You need to win people back with your head, Will, not your biceps, not your tats, not your Mayo commercials. You gotta use your brain, please.
And on the flip side of that, you don't want him to overcompensate in the other direction where he's almost too scared to make a play or too afraid, and he's getting in his own head the most. I mean, you've got to be very, very even keeled as a quarterback, and where you're not trying to do too much, but you're also not trying to play too conservatively and do too little, and not try to thread the needle here and there, or take that deep shot, or whatever it is you have to do, or take a sack when you didn't have to. You could have stepped up or definitely had an opportunity to throw the ball away. So, yeah, Will has to find himself mentally in game situations and what his job is in that particular game. And, just play smarter. I mean, it's playing quarterback is the toughest thing to do in maybe all of professional sports. You have so much going on all at the same time. And you have to be a pretty special person to be a starting quarterback consistently in the NFL. So, hopefully we can chalk it up to a learning experience and we see a more relaxed Levis, and he's not playing hero ball. I like how you put it, because I feel like that's exactly what he's doing. He's trying to do too much and prove him. He looks like a guy that's trying to prove himself on every single play. And he doesn't have to do that right now, especially with a strong supporting cast, you know, around you.
Absolutely. I think I'm right there with you, Justin. There's reasons for optimism moving forward. You know, think about how high you felt at the 17-0 mark, Chigakonkwo catches that touchdown pass at
Yeah.
17-0 late second quarter. This is finally more like it.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, bing, bang, boom, Bears get a field goal before halftime, big whoop, but then the block punt happens and you saw it.
Totally
you
new game.
saw it come. Totally new game. Totally opened it up. And then, the defense holds. The defense does its job, keeps the Bears out of the end zone despite, a long kick return or, there's a strip sack of Will Levis again, and they got the ball in plus territory, holding to a field goal. It was 17-16, Justin, before the pick six, and that was the entire game,
Yeah.
So anyways, looking forward to the Jets game, looking forward to this home opener. Please try and just, you said take the sack. I would have been happy if Will Levis just took the sack,
Yeah.
that is so
Or throw an
frustrating
interception. Actually throw, don't shovel it to the sideline. Like if he had intercepted it, if it had been intercepted and we had guys in place to make the tackle, sure, take that. We probably would have stopped him and held him to a field goal in that situation. But
exactly,
literally giving the points to a team when your defense is not on the field is and twice in one game is the most devastating thing for a team. And it's
absolutely
impossible to overcome. Yeah.
Justin, all this being said, I have hope. I have hope for this season. I have optimism for this season. Will, do not make me call for Mason Rudolph.
Oh, no.
And I will refuse to. I will say bring Malik back in here before we chant Mason Rudolph's name to get him. Even if Mason Rudolph is serviceable, I just don't want to be in the position as a fan base to clamor for Mason Rudolph to start a football game. And it's nothing against Mason Rudolph. I mean, it's just not where you want to see your new era starting and beginning, and it'll be more of the same,
Yeah.
So that being said, I have hope, I have optimism, and I believe.
Keep going. Go ahead.
I believe, Justin, the Titans will win their home opener against the New York Jets, give them the victory 24-20. I think that Will Levis bounces back, screws his head on a little tighter, says, okay. You have to remember Will Levis is only in his 10th start in Chicago, going to be his 11th start in the NFL here at home against the Jets. Give me the Titans. They're going to come in with a more balanced attack, better approach to handling more pressure in the second half. And I think there's a lot of positives to draw on for the season moving forward. Give me the Titans to improve to 101-1, Justin.
I love it, man. We're pretty on the same page. My score was going to be 23-20. Titans get a win at the end, and the pull away in the fourth quarter. Somehow we managed to score points in the fourth quarter. If that's even possible. We'll see. We'll see what Callahan
are teams even allowed to do that?
I guess if they aren't, then everybody's breaking the rules except for the Titans. But dude. Hopefully, when it comes to Levis, and if it doesn't turn around, actually, we are going to see Malik again, perhaps in week 3 with the Packers. Yep. And if he comes in and wins against Levis and the Titans, and he outplays Levis, things are going to catch fire very quickly around Titans fandom. Because that's an absurd reality to even consider living in with what we saw from Malik Willis in his first 2 seasons as a Titan. But either way, kind of finishing off with the Will Levis and then the Mason Rudolph thing, would you not want Levis to just, even if he's not the guy, continue playing throughout the season? Because why bring in Mason Rudolph when you know this is not going to be our franchise quarterback of the future?
He might be able to win you some football games, Justin.
Win football games, get into the playoffs.
Mason Rudolph doesn't make the shovel pass. I'm almost confident in saying that. And it's
you play to win the game.
Do you make the shovel pass or do you not? And that's where we're at right now in the quarterback conversation.
Brian Callahan's like, so Mason, you're in this situation. Do you make a shovel pass to the sideline? And he says no. Callahan's like, you got the job. You're starting next week. I like where your attitude's at, sir. Good decision making. Yeah, I don't know, because yeah, we might win games with Rudolph to maybe 7 or 8 games, but long term, losing draft picks, yeah, I'm with you. I'm just asking for the sake of conversation.
Yeah,
I want the quarterback in that will give us the best chance to win a football game.
absolutely.
That's what I care most about. And if it's Rudolph, then maybe it should be Rudolph. But then we just, I don't know, sit. I don't know. We're a long way from that conversation. I don't want to
Yeah.
get into that. And we're just here to recap our woes from week one and kind of look ahead to see what we got with the Jets in week two. So um, I think that's about all I've got, I guess, Jake. I
Yep.
mean, we kind of hit around everything. Yeah. Hopefully we never have to relive
I
a
mean,
recap like that again.
turn the page, like it could be one of those things you look back to week one and you forget the shovel pass even happened. You really just don't know with the NFL season. There's 4 months of
Yeah.
football to play, Justin. There's 16
Yeah.
more weeks. There's a whole old
Hey,
school NFL season to play.
2021 week one, Cardinals came in and kicked the Titans' butts. Chandler Jones had 5 sacks or whatever. It was, oh my gosh, this team stinks. We ended up getting the #1 seed in the AFC that year. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
turn the page from week one. Will Levis got the dumbest mistake of the season out of the way week
Correct.
one. So
Correct. That's a
so
great
hooray.
way to put it, Justin. I like it. I like that. Get it out of the way. Turn the page. Let's go back to Nissan Stadium. Beat these Jets, please. Of course, the media will be like, "Oh, what's wrong with the Jets and Aaron Rodgers after 0-2 start?" Even if Will Levis throws for 5 touchdowns. Anyways, that being said, that's just my own personal gripe this week. Like, comment, subscribe,
Love
all
it.
that jazz. Thank y'all for tuning in to Titans Tube. Tighten up, everybody. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next week.